So a federal money service business license is something that has been discussed, but I do not see it coming in the foreseeable future. Back in 2018, the OCC issued a notice that it would accept national bank charter applications from financial technology companies. And this was probably close to, or a proxy, if you will, for a federal money service business license. That was under the previous administration. This administration, I think, has a different philosophy, so that's not going to move forward. And the other thing that I think people did not realize was how costly and time-consuming that financial technology charter was. The other, I'll say, state legislator, the Conference of State Banking Supervisors, in an effort to streamline the state licensing process and perhaps get us more to that federal license, initiated several projects under a general project called Network Supervision. That was launched in 2020, and it was a plan to transform the 50-state system into an inclusive national system using common policies to prioritize work based on risk and resource availability. This is true from a regulator perspective as well as from a industry perspective. As part of this initiative, there's several components. There's one that's called the Multi-State License Agreement, and this has been in play for a couple of years now. But what that allows is for a new company that is coming into the US or is in the US and needs to develop a license, they can apply to a primary state, and what they consider their core documents are sort of reviewed and approved. And then I believe it's up to 30 now, 30 other states will accept that approval. So you don't have to go through that part one approval in each state, you just jump into the second level. But that second process, the second initiative that was approved by this Conference of State Banking Supervisors Board this past September is a uniform money transmission law. And that law will give us uniform policies, procedures across the state spectrum. Here in the US, however, it gets a little bit more difficult in that, components have to be passed by each state legislator. And that process can take somewhere, I think, in the neighborhood of the next 2 years before we have that uniform law that will identify the procedures that companies have to use and be akin to a federal license. And then the last component of this network supervision that has recently, this past year, was enacted it's called One Company, One Exam. So what that has done is take the exam process for compliance against the state licensing and regulations. They've taken that so that one lead state, along with some others, will perform the exam one time. So a company, for example, that is licensed in all of the states might have had to deal with, 30 some license examinations in a year. So they've significantly reduced that effort. That effort is available to companies who are licensed in more than 40 states. And from the feedback that we've received from MSBA members, it's been very beneficial to go through the rigors of the exam once and know that they are complete. The other components that are getting us to more uniformity, if you will, they are undertaking an upgrade or a system enhancement to the licensing system. They're addressing pain points in the system, such as identifying change of control and ownership. For many of the fintech companies who have VC money supporting them, it becomes very laborious when they're just sort of managing and not controlling the company. So those we can see coming. And also they have automated the examination process And while only 7% of the states participated in it last year, there is a push for MSBs to participate in it more this year. And what that does is it helps to streamline the process. So during the examination process, if you have to upload, for example, your financial statements at the end of the year, they're available to the system for the next exam. You're not continually updating the same documents. So we are stepping into a journey that will streamline the process and make things more uniform, but we are not getting to a federal license anytime soon.